Welcome to Putting It Together, the podcast that goes through the entire body of work of Stephen Sondheim, show by show and song by song. My name is Kyle Marshall, your self-described Sondheim expert. We have been making a very large point as we go through this season talking about Bounce and Roadshow, how this character of Nellie, who shows up in Bounce, was really just a creation for that show. In the previous iterations, there was a character up in the Klondike that kind of fulfilled what she was doing, but ultimately it stayed a story of the two Meisner brothers, and then her character was completely cut out of Roadshow. As such, it feels like such an interesting microcosm in the evolution of this show when we look at Bounce and see some of the songs that Nellie is a part of, and just how much, I guess, it's up to the fans to decide at this point of whether or not she adds something to the show or actively detracts from the show. And of course, would love to hear your thoughts on this, which you can send to puttingittogetherpodcast@gmail.com. So this week we are talking about a Nellie song, What's Your Rush? And I'm excited to jump into it here today with Dimitris, but before I get to that, just a very quick shout out here and advertise that if you'd like to help support the show for absolutely free, you can give a rating and review on whatever app you listen to podcasts in. That's, of course, greatly appreciated. Putting It Together is an independent podcast, so if you'd like to help monetarily, which will only help to grow and make this show better, you can do so over at our Patreon page. Please, I urge you, do not donate if it impacts you negatively financially. I'd also like to give a huge thank you to the God That's Good tier from Patreon. I haven't been doing this for a while, and that's because I forgot, because I'm a terrible person. But thank you so much to Robert, Stephen, Luis, and Michael. All right, Dimitris has been very patient, waiting in the wings here, so let's get this show started. Dimitris, thank you so much for coming back to the show.
Thank you for inviting me to do Bounce. And let me just say it right up front. If I have to choose to listen to one of the two versions, I always go to Roadshow. So
okay,
I just had to re-listen to Bounce because Roadshow is the show that I think it's like the definite version and the definitive version, and I'm listening to that.
I mean, you were even more aggressive before we started recording. You said, thank you for inviting me to talk about the most boring song of the show.
I don't wonder why it was cut, even the character. Like,
I was going to say, ultimately, this character is completely cut from the show.
It sounds like we have to give the women in the show something to sing. It's like the second act of Les Miserables. Let's get the women to do the turning song because we pay them and they have to do something.
I think that's what they needed. They needed more turntables in this show. They just needed to have them keep turning and turning and turning. I'll say it's even more, oh gosh, what's the right word? Anyways, it's even worse than it just needing to have a woman sing a song. When Hal Prince came aboard to direct this version of the show, he was like, we need sex in this show. And so we need to give Wilson a person that he can fall in love with through the show. So that's what he brought to the table, I guess, with this one. Weirdly enough, bless Hal Prince's heart, he's just, I think, too aggressively heterosexual, because I don't actually disagree with him that the show needs a bit of sex in it. I just think that they figured that out in Roadshow when they brought in Addison's boyfriend into it. Like, that is like kind of the core of that through line.
Sure, but what are the women, the actresses going to do? Not work? They need to work as well.
Yeah, that's fair. Give women work. I want to rip off this Band-Aid here, though, to a certain extent. I think that it's impossible during this season not to address, do any of these versions of the show actually work for you? I agree with you that I think that Roadshow is ultimately the best version of everything, of all the options out there. But do you still, enjoy the show?
I enjoy the show. I enjoy listening to it. Like, I like the irony of it. Like, I love the second part, the whole property boom and the crash and all that. Like, I really, really enjoy that part because that's a valid critique and it hits right to the point. Like, the first thing about the Gold Rush, it's the first time I got to listen to Bounce, actually, is like, and that was the show. That was the one show I kept hearing other guests going, and that's the show I heard without expecting a new Sondheim show after I had been indoctrinated. So that was for me Bounce, waiting for the CD to arrive at my home here in Greece. So I was like very excited to listen to that. And it starts, and I said, wait a minute, a show about gold digging and capitalism. I heard this show, and it was better when Brecht and Weil wrote it, and it's the rise and fall of the city of Mahagony. And it was like, so Bounce was, collecting some dust on my CD shelf. But Roadshow, I actually enjoyed more. And I think, yes, it's because they fleshed out the relationship more, including the boyfriend. But also, it felt like more, like the critique was more to the point.
Yeah. It's more focused. I think the story is more focused in Roadshow.
It is more focused. And maybe, and that was the one that the British director did, like John Doyle, right? When he did Roadshow.
John Doyle does, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it needed that outsider's perspective into the Americana of it all, because that's what I like. Like, the show was more Americana. It was more like the Americana part of it. It was satirized more.
Yeah, honestly, I'm probably going to be a broken record this season. I don't know, because I didn't tell you this before we started recording. You are the first person I'm recording with. So all these episodes are being recorded out of order. So I have no idea what's been discussed up until this point. But I think the hardest part about this is that not knowing really anything about the Meisner brothers going into this, and now I've been doing a bunch of research on them, even reading the biography that Sondheim was influenced by. I read that here this past week. They definitely led very interesting lives. There's like nearly impossible, I think, to try and sum up in a 2-hour musical, 2 hours and 20-minute musical, but also so much of what they were written about was just straight up lies. Like, it didn't actually happen. Like, they absolutely did go to the Klondike, but like for like a year, and didn't really do what's portrayed here in the show, or at least not really. They absolutely were part of the Florida land boom and then bust. Like, that is completely fact. But then, like, how involved or not involved they were like, that changed depending on who you talk to over the years. So it's like, they were really, excuse my language, but they were both just really good bullshitters. Like, they just made stuff up all the time. So this show tries, I think, to capture the spirit of that, but also is like, we're just also going to make up stuff too, which is not, I'm not opposed to that, but like, they're trying to wrangle something that also didn't exist, but did exist at the same time.
Me listening to the CDs, because I did not watch any of the bootlegs floating around. I didn't care to watch the show, so I'm only, it's like, does the show stand on its own on the cast recording? Do I get the story? And the story I got from both of the shows was the recordings. I mean, like Bounce and Roadshow. I didn't care about the brothers, as in, what's happening to them. To me, they were like avatars of what they were, like symbols. Like, I didn't care what happened to them in real life. It was all about them being the excuse to tell the story about greed and get rich quick, and the American dream, and the inflation of property and all that. And it's funny. It's funny listening to the show, and the show was like, when were the recordings? The two recordings, they were late.
2004, I think, is Bounce, and then 2010, I think, is Roadshow. So
we're right at the beginning of the Dubai boom. It's like,
right.
It's like, oh yeah, they're doing that in Dubai right now, and it was like, oh, it's an allegory, it's a metaphor. It's I don't care about the characters. It's all about, to me, the show is about the ideas. It's like the same way I don't care about the actual characters in Assassins. It's all about democracy and
true, yeah.
So it's okay.
And same book writer in there. I think Assassins is also far more pointed in its critique, I think. I think that's maybe the biggest issue when we're talking about this, is like, it was essentially a very public workshop / rehearsal period that just happened to get like Broadway production, well, off Broadway productions of that process. I think this would definitely be far more enjoyed if the very first thing we saw was Roadshow. To a degree. I still don't think it would have been like a slam dunk, oh, this is one of Sondheim's best, but I think it would have been enjoyed more if it hadn't been like, oh, there was this failure of Wise Guys and this semi-failure of Bounce, and now we have Roadshow finally.
But to me, it's also like I kept listening to it, and I'm going, oh, it has the same problems that Anyone Can Whistle has. Like the premise is so poignant, like. It has something it needs to talk about, and they don't get it. We don't get it. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe in a few years' time, like someone will produce it and actually, make it about oil and in the Middle East and Dubai, and then it makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I am of the opinion. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be in the next 5 years or the next 30 years. I think there is a director out there that's going to come along and be like, oh, here's what this actually is, and kind of just nail it and not have to worry about, the creators being around. It's like, I just have a fresh take and a fresh approach to this and approach it new. I'm trying to think, there's been examples of that in the past, of someone coming back and reviving something and being like, oh, this is actually really great.
Maybe it will be the next Chicago and it will run forever.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, who knows? Hey, crazier things have happened, I suppose.
Pun intended. The Cats musical. It seems like they fixed that.
Actually, the original Cats was like super, super successful, but like it is fascinating to read some of the reviews of Cats the Jellicle Ball out there, which is essentially like, I don't like Cats, but I like this one, and I don't know how to feel about that. It's like, you like the show, like it's fine.
Yeah, you can say you like the show.
To focus on just Bounce for just a second.
Yes, let's do that.
Because that's where this song comes from. I will also plant my flag. I'm sure I've said this already too. I actually prefer the opening song of Bounce to the opening song of Roadshow. And that's about where it ends. I still prefer Roadshow overall, but I just like the song Bounce. I just like how that moves and introduces us to the brothers and like their dynamic a little bit more. But I don't know, what any other thoughts on Bounce, the show?
You made me listen to it once more, and I stopped once.
That's right. I tied you to a chair and forced you to listen.
So when I started listening to the show, I reached the assigned song and then stopped listening. So like the jokes, like in the song where the father dies and he goes, "We're in Michigan. We'll be Michigan." It was cringy. Like I was like,
sure,
okay, but no particular thoughts about Bounce.
It's so weird to me, I guess, when you think about where this is placed in Sondheim's career. Because I guess regardless what you think about his previous couple of shows, but you have Assassins, then you have Passion. And it's like, oh, well, he's really doing some different things here with like the musical theater form, not just in content, but like in like musicality and what we're trying to attempt to do here. Then we get to this show, and I have to say, it feels like such a throwback to be almost like anachronistic. It's like, oh yeah, this is definitely a show that he wrote, like around West Side Story?
Yeah, totally.
And it's not. And when you consider the fact that this is coming out, like Bounce I'm talking about, premiered off Broadway the same season we get Wicked and Avenue Q and like all this other stuff that's going around in the zeitgeist at the moment. It's like, boy, this feels like it's completely out of step with what's going on.
And it sounds like I keep going back to Anyone Can Whistle because that was a brave show. It's a show I enjoy listening to. Like I laugh listening to it. Like I get it. Bounce, I kind of get it. I understand. It sounds anachronistic, but is it supposed to be pastiche like Follies was? No, yes, I don't know. It's like, and it's the first show like you get. Oh, have I heard that bit of music before? Does this sound familiar?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the other elephant in the room, and I promise to the listening audience, I'm not trying to be like aggressively pessimistic, because I think there's some great things to talk about in this, and then here we are when we finally get to that. But I think this is the time specifically that like I just don't know if Sondheim sorry, let me step back. Sondheim even writes about this in his books, the Hat books, about, I was like worried maybe I didn't have any like new things musically to like work out anymore. And his opinion was that he was able to get past that. And I don't know if he did. This is really the first time I was like, oh, this sounds derivative of other Sondheim work to me. And we'll especially talk about that in this song, where I think it's like, oh, I can hear what you're drawing from your past. And I think this does carry over into Here We Are to an extent too, of like, ooh, this sounds like other Sondheim stuff. Whereas usually what it was is like, certainly this feels Sondheimian, to use that word, but it feels true to this show. It feels unique to this show.
And of course, at some point, you will have to mention about the one trunk song he used in the show. So sure. It's fine. It's okay. But you know what? Still, in Roadshow, I love the sequence, the sequence, the Boca Raton sequence. I love listening to that.
Sure.
I love listening to the part where Addison tries to make it, and he has all the step acts and the revolutions and all that. Like that moves. That's storytelling. That's moving. That's exciting. That's. I enjoy this bit very. I like the parts of Roadshow. I enjoy so much, and they are the parts where I don't care about the brothers. I care about the politics, the Americana of it, the capitalism of it all, and that's the show that connects to me.
I know you said you didn't watch any of the bootlegs of Bounce. Have you seen a production of Roadshow at all?
No, I haven't. Where would I do that? Here in Athens, Greece? No. I
thought they would be like so eager to put it on in Greece.
Oh, let me tell you, there is a land development here in Athens that is like the Athens Riviera, Dubai of it all, and it's going to crush so bad. I will have to make a site-specific production of Roadshow just to just to tell them, let's use this for something. Maybe like let's do Roadshow.
Okay, well, what song are we talking about here today?
We're going to talk about What's Your Rush.
Correct. Now, we were joking about this too before we started recording, but I'm still going to ask this question. So what's happening in the show right before this happens?
So the father dies, sending them to search for gold in Alaska, and the brothers are in Alaska. And what do you think? A girl at a saloon, a dancehall girl, is hitting on Wilson, not William, Wilson. It's the Willie part that got me, because he calls him Willie.
Now, there was I'm trying to remember here now. I also listened to a bootleg version of Wise Guys in preparation of this. So again, that was all changed around to make Bounce. If I remember correctly, there is a character in the saloon in Wise Guys that fits this, and then that role was expanded for this production, so she could kind of keep coming back throughout the story. But essentially, yes, this character is an invention for the show Bounce to have a romantic interest for Wilson to continue on throughout the show. So this is her introduction, of course, into the storyline. Before we get into talking about the lyrics, you brought up the fact that there is a couple of connections here to other Sondheim work, being the fact that her name is Nellie.
Okay, yeah. So I may think this is the most boring song of the show, but that still does not mean I will not do my research. Okay, so
great.
This is another Nellie talking to a man about patience and impatience and all that. So we have Mrs. Lovett, the Wait song, and we have Nellie here with What's Your Rush. And I also told you, and everyone's thinking it, so let's just say it. Doesn't it sound a bit like Gussie is going to burst in singing from the reprise of from Everly We're All Along of Growing Up?
Growing Up, yeah. It is the very first thing I thought about when I started getting into researching these two shows. This song starts and it's like, wait a second, did I accidentally hit shuffle on my Sondheim playlist here?
Is this a recording of Merrily We Roll Along I don't know about? What's that?
Right, but it's very, very close. Not just in even content, but also musicality. I would say it sounds very similar to that Gussie reprise of Growing Up.
So, because all my books and vocal scores and all are packed in another room to make way for my child's room, I didn't have access to the music. So I asked.
Your kid is very selfish for wanting a room. I'm just gonna say.
I know. But at some point, I will have a room, and he will help me get all my books and CDs cleaned and on the shelves. So it's going to be some child labor there on my part bestowed on him. So, but I had to ask, the AI bot thing, and I asked what key are What's Your Rush, Wait, and Growing Up written in. Mm-hmm. And so What's Your Rush is in A major, Wait is in B flat major, and Growing Up, the reprise, is also in B flat major. So there is a half step difference in the sound wave, the sound length, the sound environment that these songs have. So that's maybe why they sound so right. And I'm sure there is a thesis waiting to be written about if this key is something that subconsciously blah 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 or Sondheim blah blah blah. So there, I throw it to all the researchers in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just both songs are meant to be a little bit like either flirtatious or like alluring of a woman to a male character.
I would call it a siren.
A siren song.
A siren song.
Yeah.
Like I would call that a siren song. And once we're done, we have to check if there is indeed a mashup of these songs in cabarets, because it's just shout, do a mashup, do these three songs together.
Here is how we start. She kind of siles up and says, "Hi, what's your rush? Too bad you're in such a rush. Honey, stick around, relax, and get warm." Wilson tries to get away and was like, "Hey, my brother's waiting for me." And she goes, "What's out there? A lot of lousy weather. What's in here? A chance for you and me to be together. Celebrate, believe me, kid. The gold will wait. I won't."
What's your rush? Too bad you're in such a rush. Honey, stick around, relax and get warm. What's out there? A lot of lousy weather. What's in here? A chance for you and me to be together. Celebrate. Believe me, kid, the gold will wait. I won't getting
I think the interesting part of this song is it's so short, it's so concise. It's like, I think that's her spiel. Like, she has this monologue honed down to the bare essentials she needs to convey to the man she's after, and it's so precise. The pattern, the economy of words, it's like bam, 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 to the point. All you need to know about where they are, how the weather is outside. She's stating facts, and they are undeniable facts. So she knows what she's doing, to me. Like, this is something she has done again and again and again.
Yeah, I mean, Sondheim often writes about that economy of language, right? Like, sometimes the best lyrics are just not super flowery. They're just stating like true facts and stuff like that. So what's out there? A lot of lousy weather. What's in here? A chance for you and me to be together. Like, it doesn't even feel like we're rhyming, but we are. We are
rhyming,
doing some pretty tight rhymes here.
And it's very conversational. It just flows. It just flows. The music does the heavy lifting of the subtext. once again.
Yeah, it sounds very like lounge singery, right? Like it feels like there should be like a smoke-filled bar that I'm seeing this happen, which it technically is actually happening in like a pretty rough and tumble place.
I guess so. She's a dance hall girl. They're at the dance hall.
I do have to say I'll bring this up in the song that's talked about next time, which is The Game, because this entire sequence in Wise Guys goes on so long. Like again, this is the part about like this very public like workshop / like rehearsal period that was probably should have been behind closed doors for a lot more of it, because they really tightened it up and got to the true essence of what has to go on here. Hey, he's learning to gamble. Hey, he makes a bunch of money and then he like leaves. That's what we need to get to here. And in Wise Eyes, this is like, oh my god, like we are on 15 minutes here and we're still singing about like card hands and stuff like that.
Maybe the set was very nice to look at. You don't know.
Maybe. Could be.
Maybe it was like a very expensive set and they had to get their money's worth out of it.
But yeah, bringing this character of Nellie in now and setting her up as being like kind of on the same level as the brothers, like finds the situation, like the way to take any situation that's given to them and like twist it into something that's going to be advantageous to them is kind of fun to see this, because you can see even from this very beginning part that she's trying to play him. Like we kind of get to a sense of like she's trying to maybe swindle him out of something, whether it's money or protection or whatever it happens to be, without her actually explicitly having to say those words. It's like we get this through music, through acting, through even how she's performing these words here. There's something more to this character than it's like, oh, this is just the barmaid that's in this. We're not just gonna give a random barmaid a song in this musical.
No, to me, it's like the interesting part is like she's there. They are the ones passing by. Like to me, it's like she's met this kind of men before. Like it's interesting that she doesn't introduce herself or learn his name from the very beginning. She just
that's true. Yeah.
She starts the game, and part of the game is lure him in, introduce yourself. It's not, hi, I'm Nellie, this is what I do. It's, this is what I do. By the way, names don't matter, but I'm Nellie.
Well, I mean, I think that's a good call out here too, is like as kind of like a prelude to that idea of what Wilson finally figures out. It's like it's not about like winning each hand. It's about the long game. It's like the long con, if we want to call it that way too. It's like so many people get focused on the short term. I'm thinking like the long term play that I can use this for. And Nellie is showing him that here now, right?
Maybe
like I've seen this before. I know what to do.
Maybe it's not a boring song as I thought it was.
I probably should have done these last two couplets because then there's a bit of a longer thing. But she says, getting late and listen to that storm. When we come back from like the musical interlude here, she goes, what's out there, snow and slush? If you're so determined, though, mush, boy, mush. Otherwise, oh, those eyes. I mean, what's your rush? And this is where she says, I'm Nellie, Willie. They dance together for a while. And then she goes, when you're through, there's lots of things I'd like to do. Bad things. Maybe you could help me to reform. I could get such a crush. What's the matter, baby? Is that a blush? Trust me, hun. Just for fun. Come on, what's your rush?
Listen to that storm. What's out there? Snow and slush. If you're so determined, though, mush, boy, mush. Otherwise, ooh, those eyes. I mean, what's your rush? My name's Nellie.
Willie.
I like that. You new to these parts, Willie?
Uh-huh. And you?
I've been here long enough to learn a thing or two.
Oh, like what?
Like when something good comes by, you grab it. Because up here, good things have a habit of not coming by. lots of things I'd like to do. Bad things, maybe you could help me to reform. I could get such a crush. What's the matter, baby? Is that a blush? Trust me, hon, just for fun. Come on, what's your rush?
And then she goes, life is knowing what you want, baby.
That's right. Weirdly, it just segues right into that.
I'm just going to say it. It's very conversational. It's very easy to follow. But me, a English is not my native language. It's my mother tongue. It's not. So the one word I had to find out what it means was mush, boy, mush. So to all of your listeners who don't know, I think she must be referring to, it says here that mush is used to command sled dogs.
Yeah, like you could mush in English at least. The two most popular meanings are what you just said. It's what they always yell at the dogs on the dog sleds, or if you like grind something up, that you could call that to be mush, right? But in this context, it's definitely talking about the dogs. Like that is absolutely what the connotation is.
Slush, I know from slushes, so I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't have to look that up. You know what? The rhyming scheme reminds me so much of, and that's why I keep repeating that she has this nailed down to perfection. It reminds me of the rhyming scheme of "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina," where it has the three stanzas, and each verse of each lyric inside the stanza there are no rhymes, but the first line of the stanza to the it rhymes with the first one of the second one, the third one. So it looks like improvisational, but it's very, very well thought out.
She does go on to lead a revolution in Argentina, so I mean, it does have. Yeah, I think what's always fun for me for any Sondheim song is to be like, oh, he must have had a lot of fun to try and figure out how many words he could rhyme with this word specifically. In this case, it's rush, right? It's like, what else can I throw into here? We have mush, we have crush, we have blush. And we're just going to go on this entire run to see if I can just fit them all into here. Honestly, again, I've already mentioned it. It's kind of what I love about the opening song of Bounce, because he actually makes some really cool rhymes with the word bounce throughout that entire piece. And he has like 12 or 13 words that he rhymes there. This he doesn't have as many, but you can tell it's like, oh, I can have some fun playing around with this rhyme scheme.
And he never used hush because Mrs. Lovett uses that a lot.
Sure. Maybe he intentionally is like, I can't have two Nellies say hush too many times.
that would blow my cover. You know, but I would love to have been in the room where the song is handed to the actor, and it's like, okay, not much meat in it, I guess, but we have to make it work.
Well, I think too, I mean, the little bit of production history as well is that I hope I'm not getting my stories crossed here too much, but the original person cast as Nellie was Kristen Chenoweth.
Oh.
But then she got the offer to go and do Wicked, and they were like, you should go and do Wicked. Like, everyone on the creative team was like, come on, you're getting a lead role in this like gigantic musical by Stephen Schwartz. Like, yeah, you kind of have to take it. So I think they had like their blessing to go off, or she was blessed to go off and do that, which, you know, it turned out well for her, I guess.
Poor you having to dwell in the Wise Guys Bounce Roadshow multiverse. It's like,
I know, it all like collapses in on itself at a certain point. I will say, like, it is a bit of too bad, because I do think that the original two castings, which was Victor Garber and Nathan Lane. I would have loved to see them in like the final version of this show, where they kind of really nailed like what this show was. Because I could listen to Victor Garber sing any day. Basically, the Addison character is such a Nathan Lane character.
Yeah,
like he was perfect casting for it. So it's too bad they never got to do like that final form.
But it's still it's a nice song. Mm-hmm. It's a nice song. I don't listen to until it's assigned to me.
Well, the unfortunate part about this is that for the majority of, definitely the majority of Bounce, and I would say even a portion of Roadshow, that is kind of my feeling. It's like, I don't find this like aggressively awful, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not eager to like re-listen to this necessarily. This is never going to go into like a shuffled playlist that I'm going to listen to. That being said, there's a couple songs that I think do stand out as being particularly great that are still, I would put into like the top of Sondheim's output.
I was crossing my fingers. Please let it be talent. Please let it be talent. Please let it be talent. It wasn't talent. Then it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But it is what it is. Is there more to say about this song?
No, not really.
No, not really.
We've kind of covered like this is, in many ways, it's kind of the damning with faint praise, which is like, this is such a perfunctory song, meaning it does what it needs to do. We need to be introduced to this character. She needs to be shown to be a little bit like alluring, and that's what this song does. Like that's basically all this song's purpose is in this show, and that's what happens. That's what works.
And then it got cut.
Well, yeah, and then not just the song, but the entire character gets cut out when Roadshow finally premieres.
But it's such an interesting story to have been documented so thoroughly for future musicians, composers, playwrights to see that even when you're acknowledged, you're awarded, you are renowned, you are worshipped, you are so many things, still the work remains as tough as it always was and it always will be. So it's kind of nice to say, I'm failing, not getting it is part of the journey as well. And it's such a nice, a reminder to say, hey, they did, like those people, they did Pacific Overtures. I love Pacific Overtures. They did Assassins. Yeah. I'm trying so hard to get Assassins produced here in Greece, and I keep getting no's. And it's like every time there is a school shooting, every time there is an assassination attempt, now every time there is this undermining of democracy and angry people snapping and losing it and trying to make a change in the most non-efficient way. I'm like, and you produce yet another cherry orchard, please. Let's do Assassins. Let's do Assassins. Let's do Assassins. But it's like, I keep reading about how Lin-Manuel Miranda had to produce a concept recording to even get a foot to produce his next show on Broadway. Yeah. It's the hustle never stops, and it doesn't. And let this series be a good reminder, like being an artist, being a creator has its ups and downs, has its self-doubt. It is part of the journey. It is, I hate that word, but it is part of the process.
Well, I think what this also showcases, and I think what Sondheim writes about as what his struggles were I to be cursed with this same blessing of like, oh, I've had all of this like huge success, but then how do you follow that up when you've had like that level? Your next thing that you produce is now going to be judged obviously on everything that you've done before it. So it's like, oh man, like how do I keep that same quality up? And for me, I know it's never explicitly stated by any of the creatives here, but from my point of view, I think ultimately what the biggest Achilles heel, see my Greek reference I just did?
I sure did.
The biggest Achilles heel of this entire process from Wise Guys to Bounce to Roadshow is I think that Sondheim, Weidman, and then whichever director they brought on, I think all had just different ideas of what this show was. And I just think that it never just coalesced around a thing that they could all like move towards. That's what it feels like to me, at least.
But, having this show being followed up by Here We Are, which is another show about politics and democracy and society. There is a thread here. Like, you can see Sondheim wanted to talk about these things. They were of interest to him. It's anything. I know, and not anything goes. Anyone can whistle. That show is so. I can't understand why people consider it not a complete funny show. I laughed so much listening to it. I enjoyed it. Maybe it's my twisted mind. But you can see, like, there is something that Sondheim needed to talk about the state of America and the American dream and democracy and all that. And he kept on trying. He kept on trying to the very end.
Well, interestingly enough, I think that because of Here We Are, it does recontextualize even more so what we eventually get with Roadshow. Because, when I started this podcast, this was going to be the final season, right? Like, this was the final thing that he had created. And then Here We Are is released. And I think it does two things. One, I think it really showcases how odd this show is in many ways, because it does feel like such like a throwback, where Here We Are is really, again, experimenting with form and like narrative and stuff like that. It gets real weird. I still have some of the same criticisms where a lot of the songs in Here We Are do sound like other Sondheim songs. But I think because that comes out and because we now have another new final Sondheim show, that this doesn't have to carry the weight anymore of being like, this is what Sondheim left. This is his final statement. It's like, well, it's not actually anymore. It's this over here. And I think that now allows, interesting enough, to people to kind of approach this in a far different way. And they can actually don't have to have that level of thinking anymore. And they can just whereas I keep saying, I think that a new director could come on and really have fun with this and go in a completely different direction.
Now that we keep mentioning Here We Are, I got to see the show at the National Theatre in London, and it was the same production that you saw at in New York. It was another cast, obviously. It was an old star-studded cast in London as well. And I was watching it, and mind you, I had landed in London, got on the tube, got to the theatre, watched the two, is it AM, is it PM? I never know. 14 hours. Okay. So,
yeah.
Matinee show, after a long flight, and I was watching it and I was like, this is contemporary theater. Like, this is a contemporary piece. It's a very modern staging. Like, it's of its time. It's amazing to be 90s, in your 90s, and be able to be part of a show that is relevant, that is not trying to be pastiche or, you keep trying, and it's inspiring, to say the least. And I think Here We Are is a complete show the way it's staged. I think it worked.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited to jump into that and that be like the final discussion points that I get to have with people. I don't actually know 100%. I have to do more research of like actually how long they worked on that show. I think it was also over a decade of work into that show. But I look at this and it's like, do I think that Roadshow was worth Sondheim essentially being sidelined for 14 years? And I have to say, probably not. Like, it feels like a weird show to be like involved with for that amount of time.
He wanted to do this show since he was like in his late,
that is true, like
20s, early 30s. Like, he wanted to do that show so bad. And those West Side Story residuals, they let you work on a project for as long as you want. As long as you want.
Do you ever think that he just walked into a financier with an unlit cigar and be like, I wrote fucking Sweeney Todd. Like, give me my money.
Lin-Manuel Miranda can't do it. He can't do it. He has to have backers editions and all that. It's like, but he wanted to work for that for 14 years. He got to work for 14 years. He got his, his dream come true on stage. multiple times. He doesn't write in the book like he considered this the perfect show, like he writes about assassins.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
hey, eventually they'll get it right. That's how
Yeah,
Roach.
I mean, I think he really truly does believe that they eventually got it to where he's very proud of it in the roadshow format. So far be it from me to be like critical of the person who created it. All right, well, thank you so much for coming on and talking about this song, Dimitris. What's coming up for you? Is there anything that people should know about?
So, if you remember the last time I was here, I was talking about a shadow theater opera project I was involved in. So that premiered. We toured in Greece. We will be touring on the Greek islands as well during June and July. So maybe you can catch Karagiozis as Rigoletto and watch it. Actually, you can watch it online.
Oh,
And I
really?
think
Okay.
I think it has English subtitles to it. So if you go to the GNO TV site, that's Greek, that stands for Greek National Opera TV, and search for Karagiozis as Rigoletto, hey, you can watch me perform, and you can watch our little funny show about a shadow theater character that is a hunchback and a comedian perform as Rigoletto, who's a hunchback and a court jester. That's how this fits. I will be doing my shows celebrating my 30-year anniversary doing stand-up here in Greece, in Greek.
Amazing.
So I will be doing my show called an anthology. But me being me, it's not like the best material I have. It's more or less what I do is I have collected most of my material and the ones that I really love performing and some that make you cringe but still are part of my history. And I have a lottery and I just pull the numbers, and whatever gets pulled, I have the list. What number does that correspond to? And I just do the show, do the bit. And every night is a new show. It's very exhilarating for me. There are bits like that the Greek audience knows, and they're just, when I announce the title, they go, yes, I'd love to hear that live and not watch it on YouTube. So this is that. And I will keep trying to produce Assassins translated by me in Greek in Greece. This will be my roadshow. Okay, I will have.
I will spend 14 years making this happen.
I will spend 14 years trying to make this happen.
All right, well, I look forward to all of that. Great, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice time in your multiverse of the show.
Thank you so much.